Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to my weekly update. As you can see, the background is a little bit different to normal, and I'm out here with a couple of colleagues from the NFU at the World Farmers General Assembly in South Africa. This happens every single year. Obviously with COVID, it was all online, but it couldn't be more important to bring the world's farmers together. There's representatives here from America, from Canada. The European member states are all here, Australia, New Zealand, Japan. There really is representation from all continents across the world. And big topics around food security, how we ever feed a growing world population, the challenges of climate change, conversations around trade. I caught up recently with Fiona Simpson, President of Federated Farmers in Australia, and of course Australia has been a big challenge, that trading relationship with us, and she was asking me, have things settled down at home working with your third Prime Minister? And I said, well, it is, at least, Fiona, a very different approach to trade, and I was talking her through CPTPP and the totally different approach. And she said, oh well, we can do a lot together. I was very clear with her, she's a very pleasant person, but there's very little that we can do. Actually together we're not going to be exporting a huge amount into Australia, and I was explaining to her about the environmental legislated targets that we have here. Of course they have nothing like that there. But it is important that we have those discussions on trade, and that there is a clear understanding of domestic food security, why individual countries do need to be focusing on their levels of self-sufficiency, setting targets, hitting targets. We in the UK are going to need to be exporting more. And on that very note, talking about trade and exports, we put in a huge amount of work, and I was talking last week at the Food Security Summit that one of the outcomes was another 5 attaches. But another big piece of work for us at the NFU has been focusing on the out-of-home market, which of course is 50% of the value of the UK food market. I think as farmers and growers, we focus a lot of our attention on retail and loyalty to buying British, and of course we've had long-term and continue to try and grow commitment in retail for British sourcing. But the out-of-home market is much more difficult to bring to life. Obviously you're dealing with individual businesses, you're dealing with everything from Nando's, McDonald's to restaurants of all shapes and sizes, takeaways, and trying to create an ambition and a cultural change for why buying British matters, why selling the story of what we produce here at home matters to the out-of-home market. And it really is a growing sector. And what we've tried to bring to life was some different case studies, everything from the likes of McDonald's right down to sort of individual businesses. And one great example of that is Rob Lewis, who sits on the NFU Cymru Livestock Board, and the amazing business that they've set up at home. So sourcing all of their meat from the farm. This is the Triangle in Wales, a fantastic pub that is really busy throughout the year, all based on that Welsh provenance story. But other businesses like Hawksmoor, which again is several layers up, some big businesses across the country, but again focused on 100% British sourcing, British beef, all provided by Dovecote Park. So lots of case studies, lots of different stories, and we had a really good roundtable discussion with our food chain team. This work has been headed up by Bethan Cowell, who I really congratulate for what we've done. We brought all of those people together, and it was really constructive, and there is clear opportunity, whether it's the culinary arts who were there and their chefs, whether it's the representation from Green King. They want to grow the British sourcing, and they want to have those long-term relationships that really do stack up and mean that their provenance, their messaging is brought into their supply base. Now, what I've just mentioned about trade, this couldn't be more important. I've always said you can slap the Union Jack on anything. We really do want to drive change in that sector and have honesty that is not just about the Union Jack, it is about the story, the provenance, the culture. So I'll share more of that with you shortly, I hope, and it's just a whirlwind trip through. But one final thing to say to all of those in Suffolk and surrounding area, I'll be at Suffolk Show next week. If you get the chance, please do come onto the stand. I'd love to see you, and I'll be at shows right the way through the summer and into the autumn. So I hope to catch up with you soon. And wherever you are, please do take care. Many thanks.